We will start now with the agenda for today, and the first hour is dedicated to kind of challenging session, and we have asked two speakers when we discussed with Sue and with Jeff up front, we said, please challenge these companies, our members, our national partners, on what they have to do. I will just set the context and give all the space to our two key speakers. Last year, CSR Europe made, I can do it myself, this kind of model of Enterprise 2020, and Mr. Davignon talked about this. That's our overall strategic direction. That's where we and the national partners, what we want to do to support companies to progress towards this aspiration, towards this kind of ideal model of a company, on how we are dealing all together with the challenges that are ahead of us, be it at local or at regional or at global level. And we are all aware of these challenges, and we are all aware of their urgency, and other organizations like the World Business Council or the World Resource Institute or the World Economic Forum, they outline them very clearly to us. CSR Europe as a practitioners network is then faced indeed with how to make steps forward on this, how to move in a practical way forward. Because there is also not only the challenge or the kind of negative impact it might have on the business, there's also the opportunity side on dealing with this. And that's what we want to focus here on today. Managing the impact is not, and I showed this slide also yesterday in our statutory meeting, be it in a little bit different form. CSR management as such, the management of impact, is not yet fully accomplished, and everyone is moving on, and we see an evolution there, but still some work has to be done. But today we want to focus more on, and if we see our work, and this is based on an analysis we started on impact, on the work of the national partners and CSR Europe in its kind of pilot phase result. But we see that we are working very hard still on best practice sharing, tool development, etc., and a lot on improvement of management, lesser so on the product and service innovation and the business innovation as networks. And this is something, and that's why we also took this theme of social innovation, and the board of CSR Europe emphasizes this every meeting we have. Basically, it's this what we need to tackle now. We have to move forward on this one. And then when I was preparing this introduction, I thought, actually, given all those challenges, the opportunities for innovation should be endless in a way, in a practical way. And I was then started looking into our member companies, and it was too much what I found to put on one slide. So I took something else. I took my kind of more general examples of, and not of our member companies, because I would have needed too many slides to please all my members in a way. So we are working on that as well. Our companies are doing things mainly on their own, in a way, is the impression, and with a lot of pilot projects and trying out, etc. But looking at that and what companies are already doing, I think the opportunities are endless. And in that sense also, and Jeff, maybe you are going to use it yourself, but your definition you put in the handbook of social, or the open book of social innovation, is very attractive for me because it's very simple. This is about creating new and more effective answers to challenges. That's social innovation. It's nothing less and it's nothing more. And that's what we have to, I think, explore all together today, in how can we work together? What can platforms like our national partners or CSR Europe bring to companies that this social innovation is embraced further, that we can have more impact, that we can scale it up. That is our challenge, and that we need you and your input, especially in the breakout sessions this afternoon. We need that in order to make our program for the coming years of CSR Europe and of the national partners. Because what are those challenges? What are the questions we should ask ourselves and seek also some answers to that? Who are the key agents? Who can develop solutions? Is it inside the big companies? Is it mainly outside the bigger companies? And is it inside the companies? Who is it there? And are they well placed? And do they get the right support, etc.? And how do they involve then key stakeholders in it is another question. With which partnerships do you work in terms of market exploration or production or distribution? And what kind of methods and what kind of partnerships? All these questions will come up today, basically all pointing out to the big question, how to scale up now, how to have systemic impact, and not only kind of step-by-step improvement. This is what we want to try. And I want to just give one example, because actually it was only last week in Barcelona that I was where I was witnessing one of the projects that is led by IMS, our national partner IMS and GDF Suez, on inclusive business models, where we are trying now with companies not only to do workshops on what is best practice in inclusive business model, base of the pyramid type of projects, and what are the challenges there, and how should we go about learning from each other. But also we make special sessions where companies sit together and try to find out, can we work together on this? And if so, if we find opportunity, let's set it up, let's build it up, and let's do something very practical. Instead of only each of us coming to CSR Europe or national partners, getting some best practice exchange, learning, and then go back in the company and start fighting to get it done in a way, and sometimes failing and sometimes being successful. But together, what kind of nicer project with a possible bigger impact can we develop was started to be incubated last week in Barcelona. So that is kind of thing we want to do. But for today, we have asked two people to start answering on these questions and to challenge us further on these questions as well. And I'm really delighted, Sue, that you could make it. You are, well, you will present yourself, but basically you are a social entrepreneur, so not from big companies or inside a big company, but basically starting up with your husband, I believe, some businesses basically, and you were very much acknowledged for that, not only in the UK, but also worldwide. So I will let you give the further speak on that. And Jeff Melgan, the chief executive of Nesta, is with us. And he wrote this book, and when we looked at it, it looked very practical and very handy in a way, this open book of social innovation, and we started talking with you, so we are very happy that you are here, and I would like to give the floor to start with to Sue. Thank you very much.